All right, we are back live here. I know we want to get into the Google like rich content and that general topic there, which I think is really interesting and just like like the whole AI movement to like produce a bunch of content and seeing how that pans out, and now maybe like a little response to like rich content and like unique, authentic content. I'm curious, um, Steve, your thoughts on that one. But I have two kind of like topics that are like somewhat related, somewhat not in this artificial intelligence digital marketing space that maybe we could just start and then we'll get to
Yeah,
like
let's
the
do it.
the rich content update.
Let's do it.
All right, so the first one, it's like let me go ahead and share my screen here because it's like not related, but it like kind of is related, and it's more of like a fun story that I just want to get your thoughts on. So let me share my screen here. So can you see my screen? And then when I do
Yeah.
these uploads now, when I edit these, I'll put like our faces on the actual screen share so you can like see like reactions. I don't know. I think it's like a little better follow. But this top headline, I saw this I think yesterday that Peter Thiel is now living full time in Argentina in Buenos Aires. Apparently, like one of like the most expensive exclusive neighborhoods in Buenos Aires, and he actually enrolled his kids in school. So he's not a citizen of the country. I think he's trying. I think he's applying to, and it sounds like he's not there as a full time resident. Like I guess he didn't say, "Hey, we're like going to officially move here forever," but he's living there, and his kids go to school there. And I have two other things that are like somewhat related to this in the AI space, but I thought this was just a fascinating thing to speak to because he was a huge um I guess like mentor of JD Vance and eventually like helped JD get into politics there. So he literally is like boys with the vice president of the country, and he was a big Trump supporter there for a while. Um, he also previously obtained, like somewhat recently, New Zealand citizenship, which I saw there was an article about like like billionaires like building bunkers and stuff, and apparently he was building one in New Zealand. And then he also pursued a Maltese passport. Um, they didn't go into like a ton of different details here, but basically he's got like this $12 million mansion in an exclusive district of Buenos Aires, temporarily relocated his family and his children in the country and met with leaders of the
Yeah,
country.
Javier Milei.
And
Yeah, he's there.
basically, like the only thing that they say is that the billionaire has concerns about the direction of the United States and, in particular, California and the controversial billionaire tax in California there. So I have two other things that are like somewhat related to this, but I just wanted to at least start there because I thought that was so fascinating. Get your thoughts on that real quick.
Yeah, so I had to look up what Peter Thiel's kids' ages were. Just I feel like that might make a point of like, would you move your kids? You know, they're 5 and 7. I mean, those are some pretty big years as like development. But I don't know. Maybe they live in a whole different jaded world of being that much money. I don't know if that's the truth or not. But like, dude, 5 and 7 is pretty big. To move your kids to a different country and that's a pretty, that tells me it's a more serious move. If his kids, I don't know if they were older or something like that and out of high school or something like that, um, you're kind of free to do whatever you want. But that's a pretty serious move. And if he's got concerns about the United States, California, and yeah, I mean, dude, think about it. He's got enough money where like the whole world is his playground. He wants to set up a different spot because he could be a little bit more secure there. And if like shit hits the fan, and it's like, hey, I'm living in Argentina, working with the Argentine government and doing all sorts of stuff down here. Yeah, okay, that doesn't make me feel good, but
No, I was going to say the same thing because I know he's obviously a controversial figure in I don't know, like politics and business just in general there, but you got to give the guy credit. Like he's really smart, super successful. Started I I don't know if he was a founder of PayPal or like one of like the first employees there, but he was like part of the PayPal mafia. Started Palantir. He famously has
yeah,
a Roth
co-founder of
IRA.
PayPal, Palantirs, the Founders Fund. Yeah,
Yep, Founders Fund, investment fund.
he was one of the first outside investors in Facebook.
Yep, and he had a Roth IRA that he opened up like like years and years and years ago, and then apparently he just bought Facebook stock in the Roth IRA. It turned something crazy, like I forget what he put in, but it's worth over $4 billion now, and apparently he can access that in like a year or two, something pretty
Yeah,
soon.
he's
But he
58.
had a
Yeah,
crazy return on the Roth IRA there. But all that to say, the dude has caused like he called a ton of things in culture and politics as of late. We're like extremely smart guy. So if this is on his mind and he's doing this, I don't know. I think that's cause for concern for sure. And probably a bunch of different routes that you go down, like politically and like what's going on in the country and around the world. But I don't know. I think it makes you kind of take a step back to really think about, I don't know, just like all this stuff in society. I know we talked about certain things about like, macro trends and like, is this good for the general greater good of everybody? It honestly just makes me think of like these people in power, at the end of the day, don't give, could care less because they could just fly to Argentina and like, what the fuck are you going to do with you and your family? It's just like a really eye opening thing about how some of these people operate of like, hey, we did a lot of things in the country and it just didn't work out. So like, hey, you guys can
Next
figure it
spot.
out. We're gonna go over to New Zealand to our bunkers, and we're gonna go to Hawaii in our Zuckerberg bunker, and we're gonna go to Argentina. It's just like a fascinating concept about like the most influential people can push stuff in society, and if it doesn't pan out, doesn't matter because like they have so many options around the world.
Yeah, let's say that, space travel was a real thing, like all the sci-fi stuff. They would jump in, do what they need to do in this planet Earth, and then go speed off, a couple
Out,
million light years to another planet, do the
you
same
guys
thing,
figure it out.
and I'm out and do the next thing. It's yeah, yeah, for sure.
I just think it's so fascinating because it's also like, and I think this like roughly ties into the AI topic that I want to get into here as well. But it is just so fascinating. You hear about, like Thiel and his class of folks of AI. It's the greatest new frontier. United States is leading. We're going to get energy to near zero. Everybody's Elon. Hey, there's going to be so much abundance. Nobody's going to have to work anymore. All this stuff. But then like you move out of the country, like what's going on here? Like that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if we're in like the greatest boom of
disagree.
all time, the greatest technological revolution of all time, United States is leading the way, but like you're getting out of the country, like what is going on?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think he's not wrong. I mean, there's some weird stuff going on in the U.S. and even in California too. Yeah, it's funny with California, like being a resident of California. It's like nobody wants to leave California. California's a great place to live. Like it really is, especially like in San Diego, where I'm at. It's freaking amazing. Like I don't want to move. I love it here.
Yeah,
But the way things are set up, that's what's wrong.
pretty brutal.
It's
No
like,
doubt
dude,
about
can
it.
we just fix that part, and then we're all going to be a lot happier. So yeah, we don't have to go down too far in the politics
That's
because
so
yeah, it can
funny.
be a
Well, I
crazy
thought that
thing.
was really interesting because, like I said, I think it does somewhat tie to this AI piece. So I kind of teed this up last podcast, but I think this is just super fascinating. And let me just share my screen again. And then
Yeah, yeah,
I don't want to like, ramble too much here on this topic, but I just want to cover a couple quick things here. So this is more macro in the economy now about AI. This is fascinating. This piece, this went viral like the past 2 days or so. Like I love how they have token maxing. Uber's COO
token
says it's getting
maxing.
harder to justify the money spent on AI token maxing. So basically, this is insane. A top Uber exec did an interview, the COO basically saying it's hard to justify the costs. This is
How do
insane.
you even fucking read these articles with all these fucking ads? Jesus.
It's so tough. But basically, Uber CTO went viral after telling the information in April that Uber had already blown through Claude Code budget in 2026. First 4 months of the year, blew through their budget already in Claude Code token usage. It's already done. They blew through it. And the comment described as a head exploding moment due to the AI token consumption. He said, based on talks with Uber's senior engineering leaders, he realized higher token usage did not translate into proportional increase in useful customer features. That link is not there yet, right? He said, I think implicitly there is more getting shipped, but it's very hard to draw the line between one of those stats and okay, now we're actually producing 25% more useful consumer features. He said the trade-off from AI is harder to justify because he can't draw a direct link. Earlier this month, CEO Dara said that they're going to hold pretty much freeze hirings to offset their AI investments. This is such a theme that I'm seeing with these larger tech companies of hey, we're going to like reduce these people, we're going to reduce headcount in this company, we're going to fire all these people because AI is so great. But actually, in theory, I think it's really just insane investment in AI where they're like, yo, we need to cut cost. And like an easy
How
way to cut
much
costs
money
is
did they
headcount.
say? Was there a headline on that of how much?
So I don't know, but they went through their entire budget in 26 already. Meta said the same thing where they recently just cut 8,000 jobs. This whole Meta story also is just insane because they literally told employees on Wednesday,
Yeah, like
don't
4
come into
a.m.
the
Yeah.
office. You're going to get an email at 4 a.m. Literally as I forget where, but like Zuckerberg's like $4 billion like crazy yacht pulled up somewhere that like he got off of. So like they have literally like a record level revenue coming into the company. This dude's on a super yacht traveling the world, and you're just like firing all your employees basically to like justify the cost of
Wix is
AI.
cutting a thousand. I think Wix is cutting like 20% of the jobs too,
I
specifically
saw
for
that.
AI.
Meta committed
Yeah.
well over 100 billion in AI capital expenditures this year, which could reach 145. And basically, headcount cut is 3 billion in savings. So, like, they're trying to figure out where the rest of this is going to come from.
Go back up to that
This, I
Uber
think, kind
article
of,
at the top. I
but yeah,
feel like
yeah,
there was a number in there. Oh, maybe not. Okay, but yeah, what could that number be? We don't know. I mean, that's like
a
because
lot.
you would expect like some like dude, their CFOs like balancing out. Like, okay, we got to pay employees X, and now we have this AI budget for tokens. Like, okay, we got to save money somehow. Let's get rid of the humans and just use AI tokens. I don't know.
Pretty
Like
much.
that's yeah,
So
but is
that's
it
where I
worth
think a
it to
lot
the
of
point,
this,
right? Is it worth it?
exactly.
Like, is there a point of like diminishing returns, for it all? Because I bet,
I
I
mean,
bet, that,
they're
I
literally
bet
like
people are getting
Uber's
lazier
literally
coding.
saying they're literally saying it did not translate into like any increase in useful consumer features. You know, like maybe it's shipping some stuff more, but it's actually it's the example that we chatted about last podcast. Pre internet, if you had a shoe store in Philadelphia, maybe you can make $1 million a year. Internet comes around. Now you could sell to people in New York, LA, and San Francisco. Now, instead of making $1 million a year, maybe you can make $10 million a year. Significant increase in revenue right there. AI hasn't done that just yet. Like it just hasn't proven out that incremental revenue yet. This last thing is insane. I had a couple of these like tweets. So Polymarket said an AI consultant reveals a client accidentally spent $500 million in a single month after failing to set employee limits on Claude usage. This tweet,
It's a real
Mark,
thing,
I don't know how
dude.
to pronounce his last name, did such a good job of like income like of summarizing all this. Company spent $500 million on Claude because nobody set usage. Uber ran leaderboard rankings, engineers by how much AI they used, not what they shipped. Uber burned their entire budget in 26. CTO told Axios employees were using enterprise AI to check weather. Microsoft canceled Claude Code licenses because of the token bill. Companies are now laying people off to pay the AI bill, not because AI replaced the work, because it replaced headcount. I also saw, and I don't know if this is verified or not, Amazon did the same thing where they had a company leaderboard for AI usage, but not actual like productivity or incremental revenue that was gained. It was just who's using it a ton. I think this is going to be such a theme heading towards like the end of 26 of like measuring AI based off of outputs and revenue and not usage. And I think usage is, I don't know. It's tough to say if it's going to decline or not, but I think companies are going to get way more serious about like, we shouldn't just be using AI to use AI. Like, is it actually producing better outcomes, better products, better services? Or are we just having people use it and checking weather at our company and like running up tokens this way? This is going to be such a theme, but I think a lot of what we've been talking about is I don't think AI has
I never
brought
really
the
thought about that
incremental revenue.
before. Like, imagine if I mean, shit, you're running an agency, let's say 100 people, and they offer to pay for your Chat GPT accounts or something like that, and there's tokens involved too, etc. Like, okay, maybe at some point you reduce some of the staff because you've shown there's a certain level where AI is efficient, right? I feel like it's a really steep curve. Like it is very efficient, and then it kind of plateaus from a cost versus productivity. that would be a chart we could draw. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Oh, no doubt.
Where it's like you got the chart of productivity, and then or either way, it doesn't matter, I guess, cost and productivity. And it just, productivity in the cost is totally fine, like at a certain point, but then it's going to level out because the cost is going to get so much more expensive and the productivity is going to go down, for it all. And I would never even actually thought about that as a new expense line coming in, where you're like, yeah, you naturally would kind of replace employees, and you're kind of playing that game of switching dollars, AI dollars for employees because of the bill for it
For
all.
sure.
But like,
Yeah.
what's the actual output? That's a weird formula to think about, actually, because is it
That's
actually improving? Because I could imagine, like, you're an agency, you give AI to your guys, maybe they're doing some coding on stuff, maybe it's customer service stuff that they're doing, but is it holding client retention better? Is it building better websites? Is it building better campaigns? I mean, it's kind of hard to measure, right? Per se, at least in the agency world of things. But I think you'd be kind of surprised too, where it's like, oh dang, it's not all. Yeah, the cost is, or the juice is not worth the squeeze or the cost.
uh,
That's interesting.
that's where I'm at with all of this. Is like I think it's yeah, I don't know. I have so many thoughts here, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. Like I think it's awesome. I use it every day. We use it in our agency. It's a great asset to, like our work. But I also see the flip side where I see people leaning heavily into AI and producing way worse work than if they manually did something or if they actually thought through it.
Dude. Yeah.
It's just like not like I hate to say it, but like I think if you're a top performer, you're going to figure out how to use AI and still produce quality work. But if you're just kind of like an average person who's like, hey, good teammate, just trying to get a paycheck, I'm not going to go, spend my nights and weekends learning and teaching myself new things. Like, I'm just going to kind of show up and do what I got to do, respect that. I think a lot of those people are just going to lean into AI, not vet their work, and actually like hurt themselves long term in their career because they're just going to get handicapped.
Yeah, and it's tough too because, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's like I've had examples on the SEO side of things where it's like what comes back, it's not that great. But if I massage it with some extra prompts and then do some manual work, it's fantastic. you
Yep.
know but if, like, you're not experienced in actually doing that, like maybe it's like ad copy or something like that, and you're like, hey, here's everything, and they come back to ad copy, and like you're just like all trust in AI, it's gonna, and you don't, and you ship it out, it's gonna look like shit.
I
And
had
you're
literally just worked on ad copy from some client that produced it all AI, and it's like, this is literally awful.
Yeah, and then you need to like massage it a little bit, even if it's like extra prompting to get it better and be better defined, because that's all LLM's doing. It's pattern matching someone else's work to what it wants from an import, what you're doing. I think people forget that. Like, it's not smarter than what you can be doing. Yes, you can grab like mass data and things like that, and improve things, but I don't know. There's some use cases where you're like, dude, your response is pretty fucking dumb. Like, you
I
get the
know.
direction, but like I need to talk to you like you're a junior account rep or something like that, or junior SEO guy. I'm going to coach you through this, and then it comes back, 30 minutes later, and it's fantastic, and then I got to put the final 10% on top of it, and then it's chef's kiss, perfect, ship it out. But it's not like a fix all evil. And if you're not like, if you're not like knowing that about AI, like not every answer is the perfect answer,
Yeah.
and just trusting it completely, you just like, you don't know.
I think we talked about this when Jack of the founder of Twitter, now Block, he mentioned like the whole restructuring at Block, and basically he basically said like that's I think going to be a huge differentiator in like just employees and productivity is those who can filter results from AI, like use it as a tool, but don't trust the outputs 100%, and like use that to help your work, and you got to be that filter mechanism, and you got to like use your previous experience to like actually make decisions on how to use the outputs that it provides. And I think that's a really good way to put it. Um, Maybe that also dovetails nicely into like this rich content update because I think this probably
Yeah, yeah,
speaks to like
yeah.
just
Let me
general
pull this
quality.
up. Let me get this link and pull this thing up here. Let's see.
But I think long term, like I think the whole narrative here about AI is just like killing jobs right now. I think that's going to flip in
There's a,
H2 of this
it's
year.
killing jobs, but why?
But why?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
doing a way better job than humans? Not yet.
Yeah. So this is interesting, and this does touch base on a little bit of what we talked about was last week before when Google Search Console blog came out with a post about GEO versus SEO, etc. And this is a kind of also about that as well, where the headline here is dude from Google says AI search rewards content that goes deeper. And AI answers simple search queries. Google says you need richer human perspective. AI summaries can't replace. And they say here that what was it, the line that I really liked is that, yeah, I mean, dude, put it this way: if AI can make a topic content, like if you ask a prompt like, "Hey, give me the top 5 tips when visiting the beach," like, dude, AI is gonna be able to generate that. There's been plenty of other people that have written about it. It's very easy to write about, etc. Um, that's something that AI can easily do. Why would, if you create it, one, would you even rank for it organically? Maybe there's a chance you have a super authoritative site and you just naturally get put up there. It's kind of like what Forbes does. They do something called like Parasite SEO, and they have a subdomain and they rank for everything that they shouldn't. They use their domain authority to rank for it. So it's not that you wouldn't rank for it per se, but like their guideline here is like, man, don't be writing blogs. And it's fucking about blogs. Like it really is. They're calling a shot out here on blogs. Like, your 5 top tips for this or this type of, like, because Google's gonna be able to answer that in the AI search results, and they're not going to pull you in, and they're going to cite
Yeah.
older sources. So what they're recommending is providing content that's more unique or expertise, which is kind of a funny ask. It's like, well, how unique am I going to do it? Because probably the search volume is going to be less as how unique as I drill in. So maybe that analogy of
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
like maybe it's something like, okay, top 5 summer tips or 10 tips for visiting the beach. Maybe it's like top 10 tips for going to the beach with sun cancer or skin cancer, excuse me, or something
Yeah.
of like with your autistic kid. What's the beach activity? Like that's kind of, you kind of niche the niche,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
should probably be, and then put your first party perspective in it. That makes sense, but I also think Google's running out of fucking unique content to find, and like everybody's written about everything already. So write some unique shit. But then at the same time, like from a marketing perspective, it's like that's your marketing strategy is to build blogs about like the super top funnel content on your website, about your topic. It's wrong. You should be trying to rank for like your services pages and what you actually do.
Yeah.
Like and double down on that and getting cited and sorted. Like that's where your money is at. It's not in these blog posts that are there. Like yeah, I've seen it happen before. It's more in the offshoot of SEO, but it makes sense here as well, where it's like, let's say you run a jewelry website and you write a bunch of blogs about, like, I don't know, what like amethyst does, and like the power of amethyst, and all the different the birthstone, this and that, and you kind of make a little collection about all the different gemstones that are out there. They're going to start thinking you're like more of a resource website anyways, and they probably won't rank you in the AI overviews because everybody's written about it anyways. And
Yeah.
the actual products that you do sell, let's say it's like actually like amethyst sterling silver rings, you're probably going to be hurt by that because of the other content. It's like this weird myth that at some point in time that traffic did help you rank for other keywords, but that's not the case anymore. You just, like, a smaller site that's actually talking about the industries that you're working with, your products that you're selling, that's the content you want to create. And if you're going to do something unique in writing a blog post, make it truly unique. Like the days of like blogging the blog to get traffic is fucking over. That was built for like affiliates. Like that's what
I feel like
affiliates
that's
used to do.
been over for a
It's
long,
been
for
over,
like
but it's still like I
long,
get
long time.
marketing clients like, oh, my SEO strategy is going to build blogs. I'm like, why? Like, why?
Yeah.
You're just going to be wasting a bunch of time to put content that's already written out there. You got a unique take? Sure. Let's spend some time on that and do that. But what about your other pages on your website? Maybe we should be doing that instead. Um,
So it
it's
seems
pretty
like that's the
interesting.
name of the game here is like rich, unique content that like maybe your business can have, like, I don't know, some data call outs in there that like other companies wouldn't have, or
Yeah, unique
some like
data, 100%.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to want to ingest it in because it's new. It's new. That's the thing. And it's literally says
Yeah.
right, Google does not want content. Google wants Google wants content AI can't easily copy. Excuse me. And it's the whole like commodity content. Yeah, so stop building fucking fluff. It's actually kind of nice. Um, but I will tell you, there's a bunch of SEO companies out there that are shitting their pants if their actually clients read this stuff, because you know what they're delivering on a monthly basis is blog posts, and they call it
Just
SEO,
nonsense
and
blogs.
they're not
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still a big proponent of link building and doing other tactics that I do think helps raise your rankings organically and within the AI results as well. Um, but yeah, it's kind of nice that they've written about this, because then you have documentation directly from Google, like, hey, writing these blog posts are, yeah, dude, come on.
I think also too some like I won't say the brand, but there's one brand that comes to mind that is an AI company that they basically just like write content for your site. I wouldn't say it's like a blogging AI company, but like it basically is, and it helps like produce content. And I'm just thinking like what would be of value. It's extremely expensive, like dumb expensive, like hundreds of thousands, like 100K a year or something like that. Um, but I'm just thinking, like, I don't know why you would do that at this point, because it's like, first off, you kind of have, like a free version of any LLM right now is pretty solid. But like, unless you have like a unique spin, why would you have AI just create that for you? You know what I mean? It's like, I guess you could help to, but I just think like the cost there, if you're going to invest a ton, like I said, you have some free versions that could like help produce that, at scale. But, but yeah, I do agree. I feel like this makes a ton of sense of like, it's a good like refreshing thing, but I feel like every time we talk about AI, it's like all roads always lead back to like traditional SEO. Like it seems like unique,
Yeah, but the
rich,
traditional,
authoritative
yeah,
content that's
but a
always
lot of
the
people
thing.
skew the like SEO of like writing content on their site to write content, and some of the. But the
For
thing is, you
sure.
can go ahead and write content on your site that is like that, like the top 10 tips for summer, and feed it to your social media. Like that's fine. You send it to your email marketing. It's not that you shouldn't do it. Just don't expect organic traffic or AI overview traffic from it. It can be super valuable as a brand. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I do need to clarify that. Like, that can be very helpful if someone's on the site, they're seeing that, they're seeing your social media, etc. That makes sense to do. So yeah, it's pretty crazy that's out
The
there.
days of just like having a blog be like top of funnel, driving like a bunch of people, and then like you get those people, and like maybe some sign up for your newsletter, and then you have like drip campaigns to those users, and then maybe like you do like search remarketing or display remarketing and bring them back and like get them to fill out a form and close. It's like those days are like so done. Like sure that still happens, but like it's just so much more complicated than it once was. And like now, there's like 97 different social medias you could be on. There's 15 different LLMs you could use. You're probably streaming. Like there's just so many different like avenues of content now, and how people, and like we said last episode, the updates with the cookie track. It's like it's so much more complicated than it once was. And then it's like you also got to think there's just so much more content being produced with AI that I don't know. It's just like way, way, way more complicated than it ever was to like get people to like figure out like their marketing funnel. Like
Yeah,
I don't even think
I feel
funnel
like there
should
was
be
a
like a
chart
word
I
anymore.
saw. Yeah, I feel like there was a chart that I saw about like content generated on the internet, over the like it was charted over time. I think it was something like that. I tried to do a couple Google searches while you were talking. I couldn't find it, but it was like I just remember seeing it. I mean, maybe someone can find it for us. But it's like, dude, you hit ever since ChatGPT launches, like, dude, the amount of like just fucking insane, the amount of words written
Oh,
on
you
the
sent me that. It's like
I
pretty much
can't
like
find it.
more than like
Maybe we put it on the podcast at one point, but it's like
yeah,
insane. Like there you go. Then it's like you're in the singularity. I think you call it, where it's like the AI is training off of the shit that they wrote. Like, and that's why they want the unique shit. They're like, give me the good stuff.
yep,
I don't need the other stuff that I already have and understand. I
for
need the
sure.
new stuff to feed me.
Yeah, yeah. I know we reference All In a bunch on this podcast, but the All In pod, I do remember like it had to be like 3 years ago now at this point, 2 3 years ago, but it might have been Chamath, somebody or Sachs, somebody basically said that I think long term how this plays out, like people who are going to win, if you're like building an AI business or like in the LLM game in some capacity, is like unique data. Like if you could have access to like patient data that's not publicly available, that's not online, and train it against that or whatever. But if you could have like some type of like data that isn't publicly available that only your LLM could train on, crazy mode, because it's like there's no AI can't access that. It's unique, it's new, it's not found everywhere. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's
there's
where
going to
it
be
shines.
something
Yeah.
to be in like any type of like business or any type of vertical if you have like some like unique data set that you could lean on here for success. But yeah, I think all of that is definitely like a positive path for just content in general there.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting too? Let's say there was like a magic button, and you're starting a new business, right? And let's just say Wix comes out with it. I don't know, just for fucking sake of example, it's called the easy button, and it's like, hey, you're a local contractor that is going to be focusing on kitchen remodeling. You're starting a new company, and you're targeting the San Diego area. You just put that in your prompt. That's it, and you hit the fucking go button. Builds the website, SEO optimizes all the different pages on the site because it's based off of what they know about like how to optimize sites. It's building local pages, it's building different service pages, the materials that they're using. They build it all the content is unique. Everything is like spun correctly, etc. All based off this prompt. It then generates a Google Ads campaign that's based off of this. It's connected to the Google API. It generates a meta campaign, creates the assets for it based on what you want. It does everything for you. It's not under the realm that's not possible or not the future, right? Because it's just pattern matching of what other
Yeah.
people have done. They
Yep.
can do that. My problem is once that happens, then anybody with any business has an easy button for everything. Then what makes you unique? Then the other San Diego contractor that's like, what makes you then unique? You know, it's like it kind of levels the playing field for everybody, and then everybody has the same equity. It's like, dude, what? Like, how is that
Yeah.
going to work? Like, how is that going to work? I mean, you have to really scale that out over time, but it's like you're just going to be recreating the same thing of the other brand. Like, oh, here's a jewelry website. Boom, there you go. You know, it's like it's all there. It's just going to level it all out to being not unique. And then, like, what are you as a consumer trying to make yourself unique? Maybe that is the brand, right? Or your social media, but that's going to be all AI generated at some point, too. And it's just going to be all a bunch of slop. It all looks the same. You can't tell the difference. And you're like, dude, what happened?
Maybe that's like a positive though, in the sense of like, anybody could build a service-based website with like content and, whatever. It could all look the same. Maybe that is a positive in that it could force business owners to think about how could we stand out? And maybe it's like, hey, for, your service-based example, maybe they like have a couple videos on their site and it's like, hey, like we're real people here and like we value the community. We'll come to your, business or your home and we'll shake your hand. We'll look you in the eye. We'll be on time. We'll have timely follow up, like stuff like that, where it's like, hey, we're actually providing like a quality service. Like we're
Yeah.
not just trying to scheme our way into leads. We're actually trying to provide a quality service and like we care about the community. We care about our customers, those types of things. Maybe, like I think I think some people would win in that sense.
Yeah, but you'd have to like make that initial connection, and then it's like, oh,
For
these are actually
sure.
legit people. We actually find that a lot with our business when we talk to individuals because like we do present ourselves kind of like an agency, etc. But like once they actually start talking, it's like, oh shit, you guys are actually like pretty genuine people and actually just
Yeah.
want the best for us. And if like the project's not the right size for us, or not the size, excuse me, but like not the right fit, it's like, hey, no worries, thank you, goodbye.
Hey, that's the
uh,
best way to do business there.
yeah, dude, I've have gotten some business stuff for sure a lot more in the last 6 months where it's like they ran their RFP or what they think they need through like an LLM and then they
For
present it to
sure.
you and you're like, wait a second. And they're like, did you think about this all the way? Like, what about this, and this? That's where like LLMs like are good up to like, you didn't really review it. It sounds like a great idea. Like we had a guy,
Yeah.
we even had like here's a whole like business proposal like idea of like this is what we want to do, this and that, and it's like, do you know if this is even going to work? People want this, like
I know. It's
it's
so
really
true.
interesting. I'm like, huh, but it's like not our job to figure that out. Like, you need something built, we can do that, maybe, but yeah, I think, yeah, sorry, I
I
was like,
think in this world, we've probably said it a bunch of times here, but I think like in the agency game, the rise of like agents and LLMs and all this shit, like a lot of positive. But I think if you're running an agency and you're like got a good personality, you're timely, you show up to every call, like those types of like little human interaction stuff, I think is really gonna like set people apart or like help your agency business long term. Just like be a solid consultant. You know what I mean? Just like timely responses, think through your deliverables, do quality work, show up, be a good person, have a good personality and good rapport with your clients. Like I think that's going to be like such a almost like a value prop in like the world of like AI moving forward. Is like, yeah, we're actually like really good people who like value relationships and like we'll steer you in the right direction or like to the best of our ability. We're not just going to be like some like agent deploying company and like you're just going to work with like all these robots who like could care less about you. I think that could be like a good value prop for your agency business.
Yeah, I could see that too. Like real people, handcrafted.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's funny.
I think that's probably a good place to call it because I want to grab something to eat before my next
Your
call
call.
here, and I feel like
Yeah,
we
no,
covered a
that's
bunch
fair.
of shit here.
Yeah.
Dude, this was a good one, but I think it's interesting to see how I'll have all these I'll at least like link to the Uber article and the Meta article,
Yeah.
but
Oh, before we leave, how did the first full syndication of the podcast go out on X go?
true. We got two now.
Sorry, it'll be two.
Yeah, we got two because the one posted yesterday, and way more views than YouTube. Our first episode, we got 144 impressions on my post. And then my second one, which just posted yesterday, got 41 impressions, two retweets, and yeah, like way more. And I'm getting more followers, more impressions just in general. So maybe next episode or the following one, we could do like a little bit more of a deep dive into analytics and stuff because I know you also got verified there. I'm also going to try to moving forward now, like jump into some more like Twitter, like try and tweet a little bit more, or at least
Yeah,
like
that's what
consistently
I'm
throughout
trying
the
to
week,
do. Yeah.
and like respond to some people who are like talking about shit in the industry, um, and just like build a following that way. But I think the combination of us two doing that, I feel like we're gonna have way more success on Twitter.
Yeah, I agree. All right, cool. We'll go over that next
Good.
time.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, folks. It's been real as always. Catch you next one.